If we're going on snake names and innuendos here, how about the Dark Anaconda?
I was going to say Black Mamba.
Black Racer even.
Yeah, I mean...
What?
It's a type of snake.
That is a snake. He didn't
I
name
know,
it.
I'm kidding.
Okay, you're right. Right at 2 inches.
So, apparently... Yeah, I was like, I know what 2 inches look
yeah.
like. Don't challenge me on what 2 inches look like. I asked him, I was like, how in the heck can you get this thing fired 1,000 rounds per minute?
Or it's just my finger on a good day.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah, Chris Vector, 1,200 rounds a minute.
Now, so they got some good stuff, new stuff coming out, and which they'll be sending us. We'll be doing some stuff with them, and it sounds promising. They just say they can't talk about it, so I can't talk about it here. But
So you're just being like,
Sounds-
geez, what the?
Sounds very
so
contract-esque.
but here's the deal, though. Welcome back to CF Podcast, guys. I've got Ryan over here with me.
What's up, guys?
We've got Matt
What's up, everybody?
and obviously Jason.
Hey, what's going on, folks?
And today we're going to talk about the new guns of NRA Show 2024 Dallas, Texas. Now, we say new guns because a lot of this stuff has been out, like SHOT Show and other shows, right?
Yeah.
And another thing here is, that's what we're going to talk about. Everybody's got their top 5 list here, and we're going to talk about that and see what you guys think, and let us know in the comment section your top 5 guns of NRA 2024. But Classic Firearms this year did not go.
But you did.
We did and did not, right?
Yeah. No video presence.
Schrodinger's.
We had a
attendance.
liaison present.
Yes.
That's right. Classic sent a liaison.
Newsflash, it was Kaya.
Yeah,
Super
so
secret.
honestly, like, we were like, you know what, we're not going to film, but let's just get out there and actually still, Classic Firearms show face and meet some of our friends, make new friends, have some meetings. And I did have some good meetings there. I walked the show, obviously. And a little hint, Terran Tactical Innovations.
Never
You
heard
guys-
of them.
Never?
Who's that?
Get
No,
out.
who's that?
Get out. The door's that way. Leave.
Do you make all those things for, like, the Divergent movies?
Oh, yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's it. Yeah. That's what it
Gotcha.
was. Yeah.
Escape from New York.
So, you guys, obviously, if you guys follow the content at Classic Firearms, we've actually just recently, a few months now, right, did a collaboration with Terran Tactical Innovations. We went to Los Angeles, picked up something very special there, the Pit Viper.
It was actually the SHOT Show giveaway.
That's
yeah.
what it was,
SHOT
exactly.
Show giveaway.
That's what it was. And it was a huge hit. Huge hit. And it is literally, again, I haven't fired. I haven't shot the, what was that, other 2011 that you were talking about, the Arsenal or something like that?
Oh, the Live Free Armory?
No,
the
no.
Bull Armory?
No, your favorite.
Your favorite
The
2011, was it?
Athena.
Arsenal?
Oh,
Athena?
Hollow.
yeah.
Okay.
The
Who's
Athena,
that?
the Atlas.
Atlas,
Okay.
that's
That's
what it
yeah.
was. I have not fired that thing. Jason says that's the best 2011 out there. I can't dispute it because I don't know, right? Because I've never fired it. But to me, up to this point, the Pit Viper from Terran Tactical Innovation has been by far the best 2011 I've ever fired.
Which is good. I just wish it came optic ready.
Oh,
What's Sand
almost like a Sand Viper.
Which, wait a minute.
Wait.
I may have had a meeting at the NRA show with the man, the myth, the legend, Taryn Butler, and perhaps he said, why not? Let's do it.
Well, they'd make it in black.
No,
No,
that's
that's
not a
sand.
Viper.
Sand isn't black.
Yeah, it's gotta
Sand
be.
is FDE.
I want that FTE personally, man. I love that FTE
Well,
look.
you know, if we're going on snake names and innuendos here, how about the Dark Anaconda?
I was going to say Black
Black
Mamba.
Mamba. Black Racer even.
Yeah, I mean,
What?
It's a type of snake.
that is a snake. He didn't
I
name
know, I'm
it.
kidding.
It's like, is there a new Speed Racer?
Jeez. But seriously, yes, I've had numerous meetings. I mean, Taryn Butler was one of the biggest one, obviously. And we potentially, we will be, for sure, we'll be doing another collaborations, hopefully sometime this summer or end of summer. And it's going to involve, should I say it or no?
You give a little hint,
Kind of.
You know?
I mean, you guys know Genesis Arms?
Never
John
heard of it.
Wick for the shotgun that he just blasts everybody with?
Oh, the one that Kenzie beat me with. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That one.
Yes.
Yeah.
But,
No Dragon's Breath this time, though.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But
Hey, man,
this is
like a
John
movie.
Wick 4 clone. Like it's not even clone. I don't even say clone. The gun, right? Not necessarily the gun that Keanu Reeves shot, but that's the gun that he shot was made for that movie by Taryn Butler. He's just going to give us one of those for the CF contest.
Oh wow! So
there's that.
That's big.
speculation at this point.
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we talked about Sam Viper. That's another one. That's it right there, you guys.
Those are some pretty big hints.
I like the thought of the Black Mamba. Though.
Yeah.
Who
Could
makes
you
that?
could you imagine a 5 1/4 inch optic ready
At least 7-inch.
2011?
That wouldn't be
like
Black
it.
Mammal.
That's the compact version, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's flaccid. Okay. So
Oh my God!
So that is not a new gun for NRAM, for NRA. However, there were some new guns at NRA.
exactly, there were some new guns, and folks. First of all, I got to say this: you guys didn't miss out much at the NRA show, right? Personal opinion, and nobody get mad at me, please. I thought it was not packed. Like the turnout was not as much. I know on Saturday, Donald Trump showed up there, so a lot of people were in line to see him. So that took a lot of people off of the show floor.
That makes sense.
So it was very sparse. And Sunday, you say that some people went to church, right? You know,
It is Texas.
Exactly.
So that makes sense.
So it just I wasn't there on Friday, but I was told that Friday was just as crowded, right? So I thought the turnout was
Or lack thereof.
okay. Exactly. Okay. It wasn't anything crazy. So when I was walking around, I was like, man, it's a good thing we didn't bring the film crew because I don't think it would be worth it.
Yeah, I remember getting that text. You were like, hey, I think this is the way to go. I'm like, oh,
100%.
wow.
100%. So, I mean, okay, if NRA show was filled with all new releases of everything, right, then yes, it would be worth it, right? But a lot of that stuff that we saw were kind of unveiled at SHOT Show. And the NRA show reveals were kind of like, there's some new ones that we were going to talk about, but almost like reintroduction of other guns, kind of modified a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Nothing just brand new. And there's one on my list that is brand new that we saw at the EVA. If you guys haven't seen the IWA coverage, Classic Firearms, it's Nuremberg, Germany. It's a European SHOT Show. Definitely check that out. So there was that, which I know, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know what you're talking
Exactly.
about. He's talking about the Ermox pistol.
The Ermox, exactly. They were from Fusion Arms. Now, but that's about it. But I really enjoyed seeing some other influencer friends of ours, gun tubers, which stay tuned for some contact with them because we talked about doing some stuff together. And we'll be doing something with James Reeves. Just next month coming up. And I really did enjoy seeing other friends in the industry. Went and visited, chatted with them a little bit, some potential new products coming out and stuff like that. Kind of showing face, and saw a lot of fans of Classic Firearms. Took photos with me. They chatted. We chatted a little bit. It was really good at the airport, or just at a restaurant, or at the show floor. It was a great experience when it comes to going out there and just talking to people and networking. Fantastic experience. I think we should do it all the time. We should never just not go. But for a film crew, I definitely agreed the decision that was made on that one.
Yeah.
So
Wish it was a little higher turnout.
Yeah.
The last year, in 2023, it wasn't that much better either. Really, the podcasting was the best thing we got out of it.
No,
from last year.
You're absolutely 100% wrong. The best thing that came out of it was my first chance to go on the road. That was the
is
best
true.
thing that came out of it.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. And then he killed it at SHOT Show.
Yeah.
Just on the
He
ground
came in
floor.
and took it right over. We were tired. When I say we, I was beat up. Many nights at that circle bar will take a toll on your soul.
Oh my God.
And wearing Vans on the showroom floor, that'll never happen again. So Matt
get
came
those
in.
insoles.
Yeah.
That's what-
on clouds. I'm coming to you. We need a sponsorship. Matt came in and was right on time with that. When is God good?
Yeah.
All the time.
Now,
So speaking of SHOT Show, and kind of like with NRA, with what you're talking about, they're not stuff that's necessarily new. It's kind of just developments and stuff that I already talked about. One thing that I was excited about at SHOT Show is the Mongoose from Nemo Arms.
oh, that's right.
But they kind of announced it at SHOT Show last second, and they said that they would have more developments at NRA. But it's like it was already out.
was
the
already
cat was
out.
out. The mongoose was out of the bag, right?
So, yeah, that initial announcement often comes out at one show, but maybe it's not on the market yet. You hear a lot of guys at SHOT Show saying, "Hey, we'll see this, June or August or September or something." And so I think NRA is kind of a platform where they can give us an update on that development and it being ready for market, right?
Right.
So it's not new, but it's also not out yet. So it's kind of still new.
It's that mid-year review type deal.
But fortunately, we sat around for a few hours, did some research,
Really banged our heads together.
and I think we actually found some new guns that came out.
Yeah,
at
just a little
NRA.
bit.
Some new stuff.
Kaya got to see some of them. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see all of these, but you'll have a little bit of experience with them. All right, so let's start off with that Fusion.
Yeah, and Fusion. Okay, that's from Irmax. Fusion 20X11. That's what literally the model is. It's a 2011 that takes Glock mags. And
I'm sold.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And for the price point, again, I don't know what Fusion is really giving it away for, but at Irmax we talked about it. They were going to keep it under $1,000. Do you remember that?
I do.
Right. So the gun is it's a pretty good gun for what it is. Okay, it's going to be economically, obviously affordable, right? And it takes Glock mags, and it's got different color variations, and you have different grip panel variations too. Like we had the honeycomb and the little dots, and some other versions that they had. Looks like if you guys haven't checked out the IWA coverage, I think EVA Day 1 is when we talked about that. It's the same exact gun. Looks like Fusion Firearms just imported into the United States. I think it'll be a good hit because of the price point. It's just a good old 2011. Like, there's a little port of the slight cut right by the end of the barrel. I think that's for aesthetics a little bit. It's not like the barrel has ports in it. And trigger is
Maybe lighten the slide a little bit.
a little bit,
Yeah,
maybe
that'd be
reciprocated, less reciprocated mass.
It looks cool.
Yeah, it does look cool.
Half the job.
Yeah, that's how
It does
model
look
right
cool.
there.
It certainly does. And if you look at the trigger, 2011 triggers are kind of like almost flat face. That's generally normally two-piece. They just made it all one-piece trigger. So, and for what it is, again, it was a really nice, decent trigger, flared magwell. I thought the grip was a little bit short for my hands. When I grabbed it, my kind of base of my hand was pressing against that flared magwell area. But that's about it.
And it's at like 1,000, right?
Yeah, they said they were going to keep it under 1,000.
Okay.
Under
All right.
$1,000.
So there's a lot of contenders in that
Yeah.
area.
I was going to say Stealth Arms.
Stealth
Platypus.
Arms, Platypus,
Platypus.
the Gerson.
Have you had a chance to handle the Stealth Arms
Yeah,
Platypus?
the
I don't
Military
believe
Armament
so.
Corporation, we covered them at SHOT Show. They had a 2011 that's right under $1,000.
You know who's just missing out of that conversation?
Who?
Hey, Adam.
Oh, yeah, the Canic.
Kinnick. I'm just saying, man.
I think that'll be a while.
Jason wants Canic to make a 2011.
2011.
Very bad. This is not like an announcement by any means.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not.
No, we talked about it, the Adams Canics podcast. Definitely check it out. It was a fun one.
Yeah.
But, I think that would be a really good one if
would
they
be.
did it.
Yeah.
To me, I said, hey, make a badass tactical Canic because they don't have one. You could talk about all the time, like the Metes, the SF, the TP9 Elite and all that. Yes, they're good, but they're not that badass tactical handguns. It just needs tactical guns need a
little bit
more
more
than what they
oomph.
have. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they should do. But hey, it's Canic. We're just giving our opinion.
Yeah.
So that gun,
Yeah,
go ahead.
what were some others that you saw? Or were there any others?
Yes, dude.
At this point.
Yeah. Do you remember that GVAC technology from Smith & Wesson?
Yeah.
The barrel has that.
It's like an M1 Abrams, right?
Exactly.
Like, 'cause it shoots it at like reroutes the gases.
Yes,
right?
it's like a
Puts
vacuum.
in- yeah.
The chamber. Yep.
Yeah. So they have the 5.56 version, which we talked about way back, like not the SHOT Show even one before we were they had the technology out, and they just released Smith & Wesson released the 300 Blackout version with the GVAC technology. It's a DI, but you don't have to adjust the gases. So unsuppressed, suppressed, you can shoot it, and it actually cycles just fine based on what Smith & Wesson is telling us. And you don't have those. It's DI, so the biggest problem will be gases coming into your face.
Right.
The GVAC technology sucks all those gases out to the front, out of the barrel.
Pause.
So you get. No, I don't think pause applied on this one. So you don't really. you don't get as much gas back to your face. On a DI gun that's suppressed 300 blackout.
But that's good because Smith & Wesson also owns Gemtech, so you've got that pair between manufacturer of firearms versus manufacturer of silencers or suppressors. So you have all of that in-house underneath one blanket. You can do a lot. So not many companies can say that. You know, they always say pair it up with something else. Oh, it'll work with a Surefire. It'll work with Huxworks. You know, like so that's a big deal.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that
like Q is the only other company I can think of.
SIG. Thank
SIG.
you.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. I haven't used SIG suppressors, surprisingly.
Ooh, buddy.
I need to.
yeah.
762 Ti.
I just take that muzzle device off and put something else on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, SIG. What's up with that? Oh, speaking about SIG,
SIG Next.
they were there.
They were there. It was I think the biggest booth. They had
Really?
It was giant.
Huh.
It was it was bigger than Glock.
Yeah.
Like maybe 2 times the size.
Wow.
Or at least they had a really wide open platform booth. Like it was a big. I think it was by far the biggest booth.
They're using that SHOT Show money on other things.
Probably,
since they're
yes.
not at SHOT Show.
And they had a lot of reps. Like
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't count, but there were a lot of people there, and I went and said hi to them. Awesome guys, obviously. We will be going to SIG's next event.
Yeah.
What is that? SIG? It's called Next.
Yeah, Next.
Correct?
Yeah,
that's what
SIG's
it
Next
is.
program. It's apparently we don't know exactly what it is, and even if we did, we couldn't talk about it. But it's apparently new stuff that's coming out at SIG. So
Tech Ops LT.
Oh well, hey.
that'd be awesome. Honestly,
Surge program.
Let it be known, SIG. We don't know anything about it. All right, we're
We
just
don't.
guessing, throwing
Yeah.
darts at a board.
But I'm
Jason might
excited.
have hit center.
I'm
that
not.
look in his
I
eye.
can't confirm or deny.
Okay.
Yeah,
But there's some cool stuff
I guess we'll find out.
happening at SIG.
Because this was invite only, and thanks to SIG, they invited Classic Firearms. So we appreciate
Yeah.
you guys. And we love SIG products. We use them all the time over here. And so we will be going to that event. And they have this new app launched, something that helps users to integrate.
What caliber is that in?
Yeah, like I don't know what that app is, but it just helps you better communicate
Okay.
with SIG and with
shooting.
your products and
Yeah.
everything.
I don't
Yeah.
know what it is, but here's what
Yes.
it does.
If there's one thing I want to do is communicate more with SIG.
So it's almost like a Mantis thing what they've
Yeah.
done. Like
Well, with the
it gauges,
shooting.
it gauges
Yes.
your shooting, gives you programs,
Okay.
drills,
Yeah.
all of the stuff, and you can like record. It'll show you your stuff. I saw Phil Strader talking about that. And,
Yeah.
Lena Miculette, walking us through all that jazz. And speaking about them, they've got some cool stuff happening over at SIG for their World Shoot prep. So,
What is that?
the Finland World Shoot.
The like top competitive.
Yeah,
shooters
top
around the
competitive
country.
shooter. Like they're remaking MCXs specifically for them,
Ooh.
and also like the pistols and a whole lot of stuff. As a matter of fact, I forgot his name.
Daniel Hornady?
DH. He's got a brand new like spear that's going to be unveiled like soon, which is up to his. If you guys don't know about his resume, it's crazy. He is like scout sniper guru and a half, and he wrote the book on a lot of stuff. And yeah, SIG basically gave them a blank check to say, do what you want to do. So
And he does some amazing jobs. The what is it? I think it's the lightened P320 grip module that he makes. He makes his own like P324 competition specifically.
Yep.
I mean, I haven't shot it, but I've felt it. I've been to the range with them, seen it. I don't think it was out at the last SIG event that we had as far as shooting it, but yeah, it felt incredible.
Right.
And it is. It's metal, but it's not steel. It's lightened like aluminum.
Yeah.
So it's kind of best of both worlds as far as the feel and fitment goes. I liked it a lot.
you know, what'd be really cool. I just thought about this. The only thing that SIG's missing from their portfolio is a shotgun.
It's so oversaturated. If I was SIG, I wouldn't do it.
We say that,
Yeah, but dude,
but with the amount of reach
yeah, but you know
that
what?
they
dude?
have,
I guess
SIG
we'll
is
have to
already
wait
doing-
for the next U.S. Army contract.
that is true.
Yeah.
You don't say.
Right when that comes out, boy, they're going to make a shotgun.
They'll get it. They'll immediately get it.
Anti-drone
we are
capabilities.
suddenly very, very interested in the shotgun market.
Unless SIG has a completely revolutionary technology, that's intellectual property, and they came out with, all day long, make it. You have the capability, and it would be a big bang, right? But if it's going to be any other shotgun that we know, the platforms that we know, like the gas-operated stuff from Benelli, obviously, from Beretta 1301s or A300s, anything that's similar to that when it comes to operation, right? I mean, that'll be another shotgun. Okay, fine, it's coming from SIG. But unless they actually come up with a new technology, I wouldn't mess with it. Or unless U.S. Army said, you know what? Here's $1 billion.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, $30 million.
Sick
then
engineers
I
in the
would.
back.
Yes.
Word.
Hold my beer.
Then they can make the same stuff as long as if they get paid. It's business, right? But that's my opinion. But also, there is this new Glock. It's not new. Glock 17L.
A
right?
new Glock?
Yeah. No, it's not.
There's an argument made that no Glocks.
But here's what they did.
The long nose.
They just cut it for an optic. Glock 17L, which is like much longer barrel than the Glock 34. Right, that thing just looks. It's like the 10 millimeter version. What is that? Is that 20? Glock
I think
20?
we got it over
The
there
Glock
somewhere.
40.
Yeah.
Was that
I think
40
we
or
have it
20?
over there.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I think it's a
we have
40.
I think it's
I wanna
40.
say.
It's a Glock 40, I swear.
It's a
that
Glock
a-
40 and 10 millimeter.
Yeah.
It's so long.
It's the same
barrel.
exact size, right? There's Glock 17L, L for
Longer.
Long. I'm
long,
assuming.
right? That's what it is.
Large.
Yeah.
I don't
Is there an
know.
Austrian word for long?
Yeah, so exactly.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there it
Yes,
is.
in German it's longer.
Just like that.
Longer.
Yeah. So here it is.
So
So
that
this is in 10 mil, but you get the picture.
9 millimeter.
Yeah.
Cut for an optic just like that. Now, the difference is the Glock 17L, which they had in the past, that had a window cut on the slide to kind of lighten the slide, right? And it didn't have a flared magwell. Well, with the Glock 17L now, the new one, upgraded one, is cut for a dot, obviously, and the slide isn't cut. It's flat, just the way it is with regular Glocks, but slide is lightened internally, so they kind of keep the same weight and little flared magwell.
Yeah. I guess I could get it for competition shooting. You have a longer
Sight
sight
radius.
radius. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Get it
sorry. I
there.
thought that was for bears.
That is for bears. That is definitely for bears. So anything else you liked over there at NRA?
Yeah, so the Shadow Systems 920 X. Hold on, CR920. All right, Shadow Systems CR920X. Now that is your Glock 43, right? What they did was they actually made the grip bigger, just slightly bigger. So because people complained about the grip being
Too thin for hands.
Exactly. So it's they didn't have the best grip, right? So they kind of improved that part a little bit. So that gave people a better grip, and they have a flush fit 15-round magazine capacity.
15.
Steel mag, too.
Steel mag, 15 rounds. Yeah, this is a 9 millimeter, and extended magazine, 18 rounds.
Does it take
So they're
regular
competing
Glock
with
mags,
the
though?
macro. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
I saw.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't take. It doesn't.
It's
take,
funny if you actually look at it. I think Brandon's helping us over there find the CR920, but it looks like a Smith and Wesson
Magazine?
M&P Shield.
I bet you it takes shield mags.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, I don't know if those mags are proprietary to Shadow Systems, which wouldn't make sense in business, right?
Yeah.
But
A lot of people do that though.
Yeah, we
to be
would.
fair.
We wouldn't. I would have to see if it actually the Shield mags work, but it looks pretty close, like to Shield Arms magazines. But no, it doesn't take your regular Glock mags. Again, 15 rounds flush fit, 18 rounds extended. So the grip is obviously improved, so it's a better fit overall. Great capacity, cut for a dot, your good old bronze barrel, and all the goodies that Shadow Systems offers, and decent trigger. So
It's like their version of a SIG macro.
Exactly.
That's what it reminds me of,
Something
yeah.
like that, just like that. And I thought that was, again, not a brand new product, but it's improved.
Yeah.
So they did that. So I thought that was really good. Shout out to Trevor from Shadow Systems.
Love Trevor. He's a
Yes.
great guy.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah. And then Colt Python.
Another one?
Well,
Yeah,
so the Colt Viper, I think is what it, yeah.
Not Python. You're right. Vipers.
Yeah.
They had the old school Vipers, right? They improved on them. They just came up with the new Colt Vipers and a couple of different versions, but they're just short barrels and
3 and 4 1/4, I think, inch barrels.
that's it. Yeah.
Because the world totally asks for more revolver.
Yeah. Some people. I'm
No,
not
no,
involved
wait,
with-
nope. Sorry. So, as the official representative of the warehouse side of things, if we get Colt revolvers in, they fly. away. So no, yes, people absolutely did want more revolvers.
They do love the Colt Python,
Dude.
It's really the name. It's been around for so long.
Are
It's a
all of them
heritage,
Clint Eastwood? Like, what's going on? Like,
Dude, people
Yeah.
love revolvers, man. Like, I'm not a revolver person, but there's some hardcore, like 45 ACP fans out
Yeah.
there. There's people like that.
God's caliber.
Have you tried the single action on this thing?
It's the
Yeah, it's
best.
scary.
You have?
It's the best
scary?
ever.
Oh.
Oh God, somebody's about to get triggered.
Jason.
You dry firing a revolver.
By the way, it's not bad for the gun. It's a gun myth.
It's bad for your wallet.
Let's ghost this trigger together.
But
Did you feel
overall,
Elmer's heartbreak.
I know. Somebody Fudd's heart's broke.
but you know what gets me with this gun? It's not necessarily the trigger pull.
that-
Like
that is
trigger press. That's
Don't
you're
spin
right.
the cylinder.
That trigger press is incredible, the best I've ever seen when it comes to revolver. But finish quality, the way the cylinder, the way everything is so well made. I've never handled a better quality revolver. This
Carl.
is insane.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carl.
I will say, so what I like about the Viper is that it's a little bit cheaper than the Colt Python because that's an expensive gun.
It is.
I mean,
That-
it's
yeah.
deserving of
Wait
it.
a second.
What?
Aren't they owned by CZ now?
Yeah, Colt
Yeah.
and CZ together, yes. But here's the deal. Guess what the MSRP
Look,
is
little
on
friends
the
of CZ action.
Just saying.
Guess what the MSRP is on the Colt Viper?
$9.99.
Yes, and I think that's
Wait, are
gonna
you
be-
serious?
It is.
I was
Yeah.
just joking.
Yeah, $1,000.
It's $9.99.
Oh wow.
So I think one of the complaints that I heard from people is that they believe that gun is about $600-700, and they believe $1,000 a little steep.
Well, here's the beauty of it. That actually might happen to be street price. Especially wait a year down the road. You don't know what it's going to
down a
go
little,
down to.
right?
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe not $600, but definitely less than $9.99.
That's a pretty big ask to get down that far. But yeah, whenever companies release their MSRPs, we almost always see it on the market for less. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, because that's MSRP, that they got the map pricing, and people play in between, right? Or go down a map, whatever that is.
MSRP is usually premium.
Premium, exactly. Like you pay that, then you pay the top dollar for it.
Yeah.
Pretty much what it is. Unless you're looking for an ACR, then
Yeah, that's a good point.
surge
there's-
pricing. I don't know.
Yeah.
When the gun's discontinued, you never know what it's going to
exactly,
be. Yeah.
exactly.
Or you make your Knight's Armament,
Oh, 100%, because you can't.
An
It's not
SR-15.
discontinued, but you can't get your hands on one.
Might as well.
Give me an SR-15 at MSRP. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Even think about this. Terran Tactical Innovations, Sand Viper or Pit Viper. Yes, the gun is available for like $7,000. You have to wait a year for it. And a lot of people are like, hey, listen, I have the money. I don't want to wait a year. Here's $10,000 or whatever, right? I want the gun.
Surge pricing. Yeah.
Yeah, so they actually pay for it. So if you got one and you got it for $7,000 and you sell it for $10,000, you're probably gonna sell it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Happens. But to each his own. Another gun now after Colt would be Genesis. Dude, Genesis Firearms just came up with Terran Tactical Innovations. They collabed and did it together. This 18-inch barrel. They have the SBS version too, but 18-inch barrel shotgun. It's got a flare mag well, but built in, not attached like the John McFor Genesis 12. Full, just built in together, and part of the low receiver. 18-inch barrel. It's got this. It looks like a brake, just like the Barrett 50 brake that you would see, but it's not. It's not even at the muzzle. Okay, it's in fact. I'm going to show it to you guys, and we could put this on the screen.
Yeah, I was going to say, all of the guns, if you guys are interested, we'll put them on the
We'll
screen.
put it on the screen. This is the gun that I just took a picture of it. So you see the barrel right here, guys. So
Oh, that's weird.
yeah. So the barrel, just like a Barrett, it kind of reciprocates.
It kind of looks like
Go-
it ported almost.
Yes.
Like,
So this is not a brake. It's actually portholes.
oh,
Isn't that cool? So they say that mitigates recoil significantly. But again, it's because I asked, I was like, man, what kind of a blast do you get from that? It's like not much at all, because that's not a brake. That's a port, and they put that brake-like thing over it, so it kind of reroutes the gases. Right? So that's about it. And then the tip of the barrel right here, obviously you got a little suppressor cover. No, you
Yeah,
can
a
actually
little choke
add.
or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely got that. And they work with Huxworks, they came out with the 12 gauge suppressor, and it's not hearing safe, but hey, it's something.
It is flow through.
Flow through, exactly. And they have a fantastic trigger, and their stock has this little really nice padding at the back. Like, so that actually helps you with the felt recoil. Pretty cool, awesome. Again, I like that barrel that kind of goes inwards, just like the barrel.
Yeah, so is it actually recoil operated?
It is.
Okay.
Short recoil.
Yeah. So, so that's really interesting. So I guess, you're probably aligning ports in the barrel so the bolts in the barrel are going to recoil backwards a short distance locked together, and then the barrel's going to stop and the bolt's going to keep going back. And I guess as the barrel comes back, there's got to be ports in the barrel that are going to align with those vents so that you're bleeding off as much gas as possible, as quickly as possible, as soon as it's given enough time for the
The
projectile
vent
to leave.
is built in. It moves together with the barrel.
Well, then how does it not immediately start venting the gas as soon as the projectile passes the vent if it's moving with the barrel? Like
I think it does, but I don't think it's not like that significant where it affects your cycling performance. It mitigates somewhat. Like some of those gases are going backwards, the pressure obviously forward, and some of them bleed out. So you get some relief from that recoil.
That makes sense. I mean, some people will, if you instead of putting like a brake at the end of their pistol, because you'll have cycling issues then.
Yeah.
You'll have to use a certain grain weight or change your recoil spring, whatever else. Instead, they're going the porting route to interfere less with the system.
That's it.
And they'll do that with pistols. They'll put porting on the top.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen ported barrels on, like you said, on pistols and stuff, but they're also usually toward the end of the barrel.
They're all, yeah.
And that's like halfway down the barrel. So you
It
would
looked
think
like
that
it was towards the end, but I get what you're saying, though. Normally it's further. It's almost like right before your front sight.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas that one was a little bit, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's tuned perfectly, they said, obviously. It's done with Taryn.
They are also going to say that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal, though. I know Taryn Butler. That guy's not going to put his name on anything that's just going to have cycling issues. They do. It takes them over a year to develop a gun, so it's got to be perfect.
A year actually seems pretty fast
No,
to develop a gun. Though.
Depends.
No, the gun is developed. Yeah. He makes that gun Terran tactical worthy. Kind of takes him over a year of testing a lot of stuff. Even Genesis was saying that Terran was we were sending it and he would just send it back to us, do all this. They're like, dude, this is good. He's like, not good enough, like that. That's like he was really, really, he was a perfectionist on the project.
Well, I'm excited to see it. I mean, Matt brings up some good points. I don't know how exactly it's going to work, but
I'm just interested because, like you said, porting is usually at the very end of the barrel. So venting, like something that's significant enough to mitigate felt recoil.
No, porting is not always at the end of the barrel. There's a lot of pistols out there. There's like an inch or two in, depending on the length of the barrel, of course. But there's a lot of pistols out there. They don't have the porting right at the end of the barrel. You got an inch behind the barrel, and you got ports. I know this for a fact. SAR P8, we've got the Bull Armory right there. That's the porting starts at least an inch and a half in.
Okay, well, on how long of a barrel would be the
That's
question.
what I'm saying. So it depends on the length of the barrel, but it's not always at the end of the barrel.
I'm pretty confident in saying the porting is almost always toward the end of the barrel. I'm not saying it's going to be at the
it's
end
toward
of the
the
barrel.
end of the barrel, of course. But of course.
Oh, you mean you're talking about the very tip versus?
yeah, usually it's
Yes.
right before the
Yeah.
front sight.
So
Right,
I'll tell you
yeah.
this. All right. So this is a, I don't know how 6 inches barrel, whatever, right? So
Port's more like 3.
yeah, port. I mean, the way I understood is like ports generally are at the end of the barrel.
No, because like you said, so gas comes out of that port. So the port has to be aligned with a
Relief cut.
Yeah, a relief cut.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
The
It's a perfect
relief cut in the
example.
slide can't be in the very end of the slide.
Yeah.
Perfect example. So here's Bull Armory, right?
Right.
This port, there's 3 of them here. There's one, so just below the front sight, the port starts.
Yeah.
Do you see? That's like 2 inches into.
That's nowhere near 2 inches, but
No,
yes.
from the end of the barrel to here, I would say about 2 inches. Would you guys not say
that's
that?
an
Put the
inch and a
slide
half.
That's
forward.
nowhere
That might
near
be
2
interesting.
inches.
So I better see it. So
All right.
I'd say that's about 6.5.
No, and seriously, like I want to have this discussion because
But
I'm
no.
not an expert on this at all.
So-
So if you look at the ports, the first port and the end of the barrel, to me it looks like 2 inches in length.
It's
not 2
close.
inches,
It's not
though.
2 inches.
What is it?
That's about
this
an
is
inch.
a 5-inch barrel.
Shit, I'm
Got
going to
it.
measure this thing. I'll be right back.
That's fine.
No,
It's
I got you.
Yeah, you got
It's about an inch and 5/8.
Don't we have a measuring tape?
Inch and 5/8, give or take.
So
But-
I mean, if you just look at it, it's a 5-inch barrel, right?
Right.
So if the barrel starts here, then that's about 2 inches until you get to the porting, and then there's about an inch left,
All right, so let's measure.
roughly.
Dude, it's even longer than 2 inches. See what I'm saying? Hold on, let me put this thing on so I can hear. All right, so there we go. Tip of the barrel, and the first port is like 2 1/8, something like that. Do you see this? I'm trying to show it to the camera.
Well, show it to us. Like,
That's
we
what.
can't see
Right,
it.
well, there you go. This is. Do you see the first port?
Move your finger.
See that first port, and look at the number.
So to me, it looks like it is right at 2 inches.
Yeah.
But okay, you're right. Right at 2 inches.
So apparently, yeah, I was like, I know what 2 inches look
yeah,
like. Don't challenge me on what 2 inches look like. So you see what I'm saying? Like 2 inches on a very short barrel, pistol barrel, right? Almost toward
Makes a
the
difference.
middle of the barrel. The port starts. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm not disputing what you're saying, by the way. It's not at the end of the barrel.
Sure. I mean, I get what you're saying. You know, it's they start, you know, roughly a little over halfway down the barrel, right? So
Agreed.
starting from
Yes.
Now, but I mean, we're also dealing with those look like big vents. Now, again, maybe it's just the picture you're showing. Those
No,
look
they're
like,
holes like this. I looked
Okay.
through those things. They're little holes.
because, like you said, it looks like a muzzle brake or something almost. Like it looks like it's big vents. So, I mean, obviously, if you drill a small enough hole where the gas is not that great of an escape of gas, I mean, it's going to matter less exactly where it is.
And it's
Literally, I think they
suppressed
look
too,
like.
right?
Yeah, well, you can. They literally. I looked at it. They looked like little holes like this.
Okay.
They really did look like round holes.
The thing that we could see in the picture, like
It looked like giant
looked
break.
giant.
It's not. It's
hold-
just I think that's kind of like looks cool.
So hold on. It's short, it's ported, and it's suppressed.
suppressible.
8 suppressible.
It's suppressible gun. Yeah, they're working with Huxworks.
How would
That one, there was a choke, it looked like.
That that was a
Oh,
choke. They have
okay.
the shorter version. They're working with Huxworks.
Okay.
Developing. They're pretty much almost done. Right. In fact, even when we do our little CF contest with the contest, I'm having a hard time what to
Good
say about
job.
that stuff. Right.
The sponsored
we-
content.
Yeah, sponsored content. Let's just say that we want to also work with Huxworks to kind of include that too.
Yeah.
And I talked to Huxworks guys too. That was another meeting I had with shout out to Mike over at Huxworks to make that happen as well. So there's a lot of moving parts, but we'll make it happen hopefully.
That's exciting.
But yeah, the I don't know how it works. I'm not an expert on the shotguns and the suppressor and all that stuff, but it looks like these guys who know what they're doing, Genesis and TTI, they got together and made a baby that looks and hopefully shoots awesome.
It's a beautiful 12-gauge baby.
Dude, they had a PDW. I remember I sent that.
The SBS.
Yeah, SBS. It looks no crap. Like it looks like your Sig Rattler. It's a 12 gauge, full auto. Do you know what the fire rate is? A 12 gauge full auto fire rate.
12,000 RPM. I don't know.
12,000 rounds per minute.
No.
He meant
1,200. Sorry.
Okay. It was actually 1,000. They said they can make it up to 1,000, which is
Makes sense.
insane, is it not?
I was actually going to say 1,200. I think that's what the AA-12 was back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
damn.
still
Okay.
pretty fast.
I thought 1,000 rounds was like insane.
No, that's fast.
That's
well,
fast.
all of it's ridiculous.
For a shotgun.
Right?
Yeah.
Especially for a shotgun.
Yeah. So they have that.
That's
It's-
like a vector.
It's a little gun. It's a literally tiny. You just deploy the stock just like our Sig Rattlers, right? Those or even MP5s. You deploy it. It's a tiny little guy like that. The suppressor up front if you wanted. So suppressor will obviously help a lot with the hearing and the concussions, all that stuff. And I thought it was fantastic, but that's not a new gun.
Yeah.
So that was one of the last.
The AA-12 was 300 rounds per minute.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. 1,000 is like it's like
Wow.
is a Uzi. Is that a Uzi level?
No, that's a vector.
Vector.
That's a Chris vector,
Vector.
which is like the top
Like,
tier
yeah.
of
Yeah,
RPM.
because I asked him, I was like, how in the heck can you get this thing fired at 1,000 rounds per minute?
Or it's just my finger on a good day.
Yeah, there's that.
yeah, Chris
So-
vector, 1,200
so
rounds a minute.
Shout out to Theodore from Genesis. He's their like head product development guy, and I talked to him. He told me that. So Dude,
Wow.
can't wait to do that.
It sounds like we got to go to Terran to actually test this out.
That's it. And I told them, I was like, hey, I've never fired a 12 gauge full auto, especially a gun like that. They told me that we'll make it happen. Hopefully, sometime in July we'll be there, and hopefully they'll be there as well.
Full auto?
I told them. They said we can make it happen, so I'm hoping. Yeah,
He's like, I'm trying.
yeah, I'm
That's what
trying. I really
they
am.
said.
I really want to, because I got to see it to believe it. Let's just say that.
Well, with the Huxworks,
Show
that'd be
me.
incredible.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Huxworks, they came out with a new suppressor,
Yeah.
That's right. That the what was that 556 Ti?
556 Ti. Here's the interesting part about that. You didn't say 556K Ti. So far, they've come out with the Flow 556K.
Yeah.
This is the first Flow 556, just full the regular size,
Yeah.
I guess you would call it, because the K German compact. But no, it's just the full size. So it's almost 7 inches, 6.8.
They're supposed to send
excited.
us
Pretty big.
here too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Big man.
I can't wait to see that one. I think I talked to Mike about it, and he's supposed to send one over here for us to kind of have fun with it. But we'll see when that one arrives.
Is
But
it their Flow series or Ventum?
It's Flow.
Okay, Flow.
It's a flow.
And that's what's interesting because, I mean, like, honestly, I'm trying to think of another suppressor that's been so contentious in the gun community. Maybe the RC3 when they found out about the 3-prongs. But, I mean, man, like, when that Flow came out, it was just like, there was 2 sides. It was either, 3 sides. People... We'll get to the third. The first side, they were like, man, Flow is incredible. I love flow through suppressors. This is amazing technology. There was the other people, I don't care about gas back to my face,
I'm one of those
man
guys.
up,
Yeah.
baby down,
Yeah.
that sort of deal.
Yeah.
And then there's the third, which saying, I don't buy a suppressor. I'm worried about, the ATF coming to my doorstep.
Flow
or
through is
something.
dub.
Yeah. or suppressors are dumb.
Yeah.
That's what some people, I mean, they just don't get it. But whatever. The first 2 camps, though, I mean, wow. It was back and forth of people saying Huxworks is terrible because, the sound signature that you get out of a Flow is higher than a traditional can. But then, you get around the same signature of like a fireball coming out the
Yeah.
can. And it went back and forth. So I'm excited to see something that's not a compact version of the 556, the Flow 556, to see if you get a better sound signature out of it ultimately, and then also to see what I'm excited about is seeing the fireball, whatever kind of flash you get out the
And
front
it's
of that.
titanium, so guess what? You guessed it. It's going to spark.
There's going to be some spark,
Yeah.
especially the first. What is it? They say like 1,000 rounds or
Yeah.
something.
The
There's
problem with
gonna spark.
titanium is it doesn't like heat, right? So if you just the biggest enemy of the titanium is heat. So if you
But it has a plus to it, though.
yeah
It might not like heat over. It does like heat. You can't shoot it hardcore like you would a normal traditional baffle
that's it,
can.
yeah.
So like it dissipates heat very quickly as well because it's such a thin material.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. Yeah, the can might get hot, but it's going to cool down 2 or 3 times as faster than
With
a
what we
traditional can.
fire, we're not going full auto. The way we fire, a titanium can would be great. No problem. We're not going to destroy that can. If we're doing some testing full auto back to back, you're going to start melting that thing.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So speaking of suppressors, I went to Dead Air and met the marketing guys, obviously the top guys, Nick and Justin now.
Oh, love Justin.
Okay, Justin is
our boy.
awesome. Shout out to those guys. Now, so they got some good stuff, new stuff coming out, and which they'll be sending us. We'll be doing some stuff with them, and it sounds promising. They just say they can't talk about it, so I can't talk about it here. But
So you just be like,
Sounds-
geez, what the?
It was
Sounds
like,
very
so what-
contract-esque.
but here's the deal, though. I'm just throwing it out there so people can stay tuned for whenever they're able to release it and we get our hands on them. We can just test them out for you guys, see what you guys think. And I know that Dead Air had some issues, right? The baffle strikes and stuff that we were talking about. And looks like I talked to him about that. And the guy's like, hey, listen, we had some, that was some manufacturing issues and stuff. That's been all mitigated. And every single customer, that's what Justin said every single customer that's been affected by that have been fully taken care of one by one. So I can appreciate a company that they have problems. They go out there, they own up to it, they take care of the customer. That's a big deal, right? And apparently they have got everything mitigated, solved, and I told them, I was like, hey, you send me those cans, we will just test the living crap out of it, put it against other cans. They're like, absolutely do it, and we would love to see it.
Lessons learned from this.
Yeah.
Don't change your manufacturing process in the middle of a line launch.
Yeah.
Just
That's
saying.
what they did.
We're talking about the Sierra 5.
Yeah.
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 And that's what I've been talking with. I want a Sierra 5 flow, Huxworks, some kind of 5.56. If we're going to go Sierra 5 full size, then let's do a full size Huxworks. And then an RC2, RC3, compare them together.
Yeah.
See what
Yep.
people think.
Yep.
I mean, I would love to see that. If I'm going to put the money down for a tax stamp for a $1,000 suppressor, I want to get the best 5.56 one I can.
And you know, there might be another 5.56 contender thrown in there. That's maybe it's their version of full size, but it might be quieter or just as quiet.
Does it start with the first letter of quiet?
It does. How ironic is that, right?
I'm no English teacher, but I think that's Q.
Yeah. The Southpaw. So be on the lookout for that. We got eyes on that, and that was pretty promising. I tried to get them to change the name to like Popcorn Shrimp, but like obviously, like they were, or the Crawdaddy.
The Crawdaddy, that's what it was.
Like that's why I was like, come on, man! Like you guys got all these like cool names. Like Southpaw is what we're going for. I was like, come on, man! Crawdaddy. It's small.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's quiet.
Yeah.
And can kill you. So it's Crawdaddy. Kevin, I'm still.
I lost the logic halfway through. It's small. It's quiet. It'll kill you. Do you know what
They have a
crawdaddies
trash
are?
panda.
Yeah. Trash Panda, Thunder
Thunder
Chicken. They do have a jumbo shrimp, which is their 6.5. They've got the short chop and the pork chop.
I love that short.
And then here we go, just Southpaw. Like,
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah.
so Crawdaddy, son of shrimp.
However, the Q tour that we did, actually, that's in the footage.
Oh,
It is. Yeah, so if
sure-
people want to check that out,
Be sure to check that one out because that one is a doozy. So
it's exciting stuff. And apparently, what were the decibel ratings he was talking about on it?
quiet.
Yeah,
Hearing
it's a
safe.
good way of putting it.
So here's what and again, I'm no expert on this. I keep talking to you guys and talking to manufacturers and learning more and more about these espresso stuff. And Nick over at, folks at Dead Air told me that decibel meters, like decibel ratings, is important, obviously, but not all decibel ratings are created equally. They said
Correct.
it's all about the pitch and stuff. So you can have the same decibel rating of two cans, and one of them is just so much better sounding
Correct.
than the other one is louder to you, right?
Perfect example is the RC2 and the RC3.
Same decibel rating?
So, yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's like 1 decibel difference
Yeah.
between the two. Sounds very different.
And your ear
Yeah.
can't determine anything between 1 and 4.
Yeah, so there's that. So they were saying that they've got this technology that Dead Air, that it's going to sound so much softer to the ears when compared to the same decibel ratings of other espressors.
Wow.
So
And
we'll
Dead Air
see.
makes good stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm a big fan of their Nomad.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of their Wolfman. I mean, that is one of the most.
Wolfman, yeah.
The Wolfman is one of the most versatile cans on the market. You can use it on a PCC. You can use it on a 300 Blackout. You can use it on a 14.5. You can run it on pretty much anything. And it has the ability to accept wipes. Don't know what that means? Look it up. Shop at your local Lowe's and or Home Depot for that. So,
Depot.
I love it.
so
No, for me, like I'm excited to see what they have coming out. I just want, like, I don't care about decibel rating for me for 5.56. I
Okay.
don't care about decibel
Okay,
rating.
just-
yeah, I want to space.
Glad-
yeah.
glad you clarified.
We're all talking about 5.56. So for me, decibel rating doesn't matter. Flash signature.
Yep.
Gas blowback. Those are the biggest two.
Okay.
I mean, we can debate about some other ones, but those two, I mean, as far as shooting an AR-15,
Yeah.
especially a DI AR-15, it honestly, no. Regardless, some people say piston's that much better. I've gotten just as much gas
Oh,
blowback
yeah.
from a piston gun than a DI gun.
I love how some guy just commented on one of the videos that I was doing, and I talked about gases back to the face on a piston gun. It's like, Kaya, it's a piston gun. You don't know what you're talking about. Doesn't matter on a piston gun. I was like, what? We literally shoot piston guns here at Express all the time, and I can't breathe with some of them.
Yes.
You know?
Okay, my gassiest gun is my MCX by far,
And it's a piston gun.
and it's a piston gun.
Yeah.
I think in a lot of people's minds, the gas coming back into the system to cycle the bolt carrier group is the gas that they're getting back to their face. No, there's a lot of gases that come back through your barrel. It's almost like just this like suction effect that when that bolt carrier group opens up, there's an open path for gases to flow
vacuum,
back
you
in.
say?
A vacuum, which is almost like what Smith & Wesson is trying to get around.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great point, and you're right. Shooting suppressor, like shooting a gun that's suppressed, it is so annoying, and it takes all the fun away when those gases are coming to your face. Your eyes are getting watery. You're breathing that crap in. It's just not fun. Shooting suppressed is incredibly fun, but if you can mitigate that, get those gases away from your face, man, that's it. That's the money, or else it's just not fun. To me,
here's a good question. What's your favorite round to shoot suppressed?
So I'll premise my
760
answer
by
to
39.
I will premise my answer to that with I probably have the least amount of experience shooting suppressed of the people here at the table. I do not own a suppressor personally. I've gotten to shoot some of the stuff around
Because
here.
you don't believe in it, right? You're one of those guys.
No, that's not why. I have not taken the step. I got my first NFA item not too long ago. So, I mean, I'm open to getting more NFA items.
So your cherries popped.
But anyway.
Did you e-form it, just out of curiosity?
Yeah.
See? I love to hear it.
Yeah.
That's so much
it was
easier.
my SBR. It was my first NFA.
As far as use like little ink pen for that, like little, you had to dip it in the ink and fill form up.
We had to.
No, this is
Walk.
before 2005.
Yeah, we had to crawl so you guys could walk. I don't want to hear that.
So my favorite round to shoot suppressed is probably 22 long rifle, just because it's so fun how quiet it is, and 22 long rifle is just a super enjoyable round to shoot regardless. Like I think it's probably one of the most enjoyable to just shoot for fun rounds out there. So if, of what I've shot suppressed, probably like the funnest would just be 22 long rifle.
Okay, right.
Oh, man.
It's tough, ain't it?
I was thinking about your answer.
It's tough, ain't it?
Yeah, it is tough. I'm going to say,
There
actually,
are no wrong answers.
Oh yeah.
one of the most fun I've had, I feel like, the answer is 300 Blackout, right? That's my first, the first thing that comes to my brain. And then I kind of started thinking about it. 9x39 was so much fun. We were at Brandon Herrera's place, and he made a Draco and converted it. I think it was like a Romanian Draco, converted it to 9x39, and then had, I think it was a dead air can on the end of it. And we were out shooting the M82 video with him, and he pulls this thing out, and we're like, all right, time to put this 50 cal down. We're shooting this guy. And it was so quiet. And obviously that AK action, it's loud, right? But still, just outside of that action, it was like it sounded less than a 300 Blackout, I would say. Like, it really did. It was around the barrel length of a M6 Rattler.
Okay.
And it was quieter, yeah. And then I've got it over here. Braden's like, come on, you want to say this one. The Fix and 8.6. 8.6 Blackout. Like, I was totally one of those people where 300 Blackout, it was like, that's the way to go. We were going out to Q. I was like, man, I want to get a mini Fix. And then I shot the Fix in 8.6, and I totally changed my mind. Went to 8.6. Yep. It is incredible.
Subsonic, though, right?
Yeah, subsonic. Okay. We have this ridiculous mag at the front of it, but you can put anything. It's just P mags, AR-10, SR-25 mags. And it's incredible. It's a great gun. It's a great gun, but yeah, the 8.6, I'm a believer in it now. I totally understand it.
Kai?
Besides, I think everybody enjoys shooting 22 suppress. It's perfect. It's so much fun, right? Cheap ammo, you can just blink all day long. It's quite nice. But for me, my Rattler LT 300 Blackout, like when you get that, I got the Trash Panda on the end of it, but I'm assuming with almost any reputable suppressor, I would get about similar experience. But 300 Blackout, subsonic through my Sig Rattler LT, it is, I can shoot that all day. It is so much fun. I recommend everybody. What about you?
Mine is going to be, people are going to be like, oh, 300 Blackout. Believe it or not, 45 ACP.
Yeah,
I
45 is pretty
appreciate
good too,
that
yeah.
answer, and I know a lot of other people do out there, because that's like the original
Suppressor
host for suppressor caliber, right?
Yeah.
You'll get the Dial, exactly, carbine.
The Delisle carbine. Yep.
What's that story with like?
So it's really cool. So they took a M1. They took an Enfield rifle, and they shortened the action so that it's for 45 ACP. It takes 1911 mags. It's integrally suppressed. So you've got a suppressor shroud over the entire barrel, and it's basically like a Sentry kind of removal device for special operations. During World War II. And
I love it.
So you could just imagine, obviously 45 ACP is awesome because it's natively subsonic, so
Correct.
you're not having to worry about any supersonic crack. And so to have a manually operated bolt action, so obviously at this time, the Americans did have semi-autos, but they went with a manually operated action, so you don't have the action working. You have very quiet signature with that, integrally suppressed barrel, and then no crack because it's already subsonic.
There you go.
What was the story of the general? It was like a British general who shot it.
So they wanted to like demonstrate this for someone. They wanted, they're like, hey, we should approve purchase some more of these things. And so they were like talking to this general, and he's like, no, basically he was against it. And so they shot it behind him without like a target. And they're like, well, like we just shot this target and you didn't know that we were shooting the gun.
Love it. Love it.
Like,
That's awesome.
like that's such a cool idea. Like, that something could be so quiet that, somebody's literally just operating it behind you.
Yeah.
No idea.
Shooting a handheld pistol suppress is a lot of fun too. Like FNX 45.
Yeah.
Did fantastic. It's a lot of fun. So not always. We've been talking about rifles, right? But a 45, even a pistol, it's a lot of fun to shoot suppressed.
We should do another video on this, like top 5 calibers.
We should have an excuse to go shoot suppress things. Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyone got a Talal carbine? Hey,
Yeah.
Ian. I'm pretty sure Ian has.
Oh,
one.
Ian from Forgotten Weapons. Yeah, he would 100%. He would have it. I think he would have it for sure.
Or at least know someone who has it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We will have to talk to him. I'll text him, see if he has it.
You know what? We also need to make an appearance at his little nighttime brutality thing that he's got going
Was it
on.
Midnight Brutality?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Wait, Ian
Forgotten
has-
Weapons shoot. Yeah, they had a
When
nighttime.
is that?
Well, it just got done.
I think it was like 4
But
or 5
he
months
does a
ago.
lot of
Yeah.
like competitions. Like that's what a lot of his content has historically been on, is like which guns he's taking to a 2-gun competition or which guns he's going to a 3. He seems like he does a lot of kind of competitive shooting. So that would be really cool. I think I hesitate because I might not be 100% right. I remember seeing Tim from Military Arms Channel recently post about somebody making a Delisle carbine.
Oh.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
A new
Also,
one.
I mean, I don't know anything about that, but speaking of Tim from Military Arms Channel, I also was with him at the NRA show, and also will be contents coming with him too at one point. We'll finalize dates.
That's gonna be exciting.
A bullpup showdown with Mac.
That's right.
Let's do it.
Well, yeah. There's lots of
What,
stuff.
what was that video he had where it was like, it's like there are a lot of bullpup haters, but really it's just the haters don't understand the gun and the gun's perfected.
Right.
It was
Right. Right.
that was good.
Well, people don't like change, right? So if you're used to your AK platforms, your AR platforms, and suddenly somebody gives you a gun where the magazine is back here, and it's just a different feel overall. You're just gonna I don't like this because you don't put enough time to kind of train and get to know the gun. Natural instinct would be like, I'm not used to this. I don't like it. Give me my AR.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I think bullpups are very relevant, and they got their place for sure.
They're the
don't like
biggest
change.
FU to the NFA.
Yeah, I mean, it is. They're very short.
So that's a cool idea. So when we talked about NFA items earlier, so there's this kind of idea of faux NFA, like certain guns that replicate the feeling of having an NFA item without being NFA. So if you had a bullpup rifle with a 16-inch barrel, then it could feel very much like you're shooting an SBR because of the overall length being very short, even if it's not tightening the SBR. Or like break action shotguns. If you have an 18-inch break action shotgun, then it's going to feel tiny compared to a traditional like semi-auto or pump, because you're losing 4 to 5 inches of receiver length, right?
Yeah.
So that's also a cool idea, cool point about it being like an FU to the
Yeah, it's that NFA nut kicker.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Like, real talk though, how can the NFA exist for short mode rifles when you can have the same overall length as a Mark 18, but with a 16-inch barrel in a IWI Tavor? It's like, how can you have both at the same time?
So yeah, what they're
It
going to do
contradicts.
next is they're going to try to modify it. Overall length of the gun is what they're going to say. So it's just a.
It's already an overall length.
I was going to say
requirement.
there is, 26
well,
inches.
there
right?
is.
6
I'm
inches
talking
overall
about
length.
they'll drop it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, they would
25 inches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something
They
like
would,
that.
they would make it bigger. You mean?
Bigger. I'm sorry. Yeah, they'll make it bigger. Yes, so that way you can't get around it. But I'm sure that's a long shot, right? But somebody who was coming up with this, they're like, you know what? They had this traditional rifle in front of them. They're like, oh, it's the barrel. we got to shorten the barrel. Because a lot of bad guys, right, quote unquote, would just cut barrel lengths. Even if you think about Vietnam, they had these M16s. The guys would cut the barrels down a little bit to shorten.
It's the original dissipator. Basically.
Exactly.
It was John Dillinger who cut the BAR down, and he would walk into a bank with a.
That's right.
What is it called? The monitor. It was basically a Colt monitor. If you know what those
he
are.
called it his whip it gun.
Yeah,
because he would whip it out.
Yeah. And with that being said, they went directly attacked the barrel. Like, you know what? People are cutting this barrel down, doing bad things, whatever. Barrel cannot be shortened than this.
Well, hold on. I thought it was because of the St. Valentine's Day massacre.
So
I was told it's because, I was told it was because of John Dillinger from that time period of him robbing banks and having that BAR. But I don't know.
So there's also an element I remember reading that they're trying to go after these gangster guns, right?
Yeah.
And so part of the reason for the regulation of short barrel rifles is because they were going to severely regulate handguns. They were going to try to have handguns be on the NFA. And if I could take a rifle and cut it down to be the size of a handgun, but argue, well, it was a rifle, then that's why that's why we get short barrel rifles and weapons made from a rifle, which is but then once they, through the political process of getting it through Congress, and the handgun part was taken out, but they left the rifle part. So it's why you can have kind of weird areas of the law where you're like, hey, I can take this pistol and turn it into a rifle and then turn it back into a pistol and I'm okay. But if I bought a rifle, I can't make it into a pistol because at that point it's just an SBR.
That makes sense.
There is that. Yeah. Well, anyways, so as for the NRA show, coming back to the NRA, okay, people's favorite show, maybe not, but dude, the products that I just talked to you guys about, some of the new stuff. If you guys have anything else that I haven't mentioned that you know of that's new, feel free, obviously, to talk about them. But it looks like the companies are out there. They gave us some newer things, but as for the turnout, man, again, I'm going back to it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if people have got problems with the NRA. I don't know what's happening. What's the political thing?
No, it must be a leadership thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
it's under new leadership. Lapierre's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. He had problems. Remember?
No more suits or private jet stuff.
Some other stuff.
That stipend for those suits, I guess, just got a little bit too rich for him.
$3,000 for a suit. $2,000 for a tie.
So
it was more than that.
I don't know about how these comments are going to be like, but I remember last year we had some nasty comments about the NRA when we went down there to shoot some videos, right? Show coverage. I'm not going to go into all the political end of things. I'm sure some people are boycotting it big time. But overall, dude, the people that were there, gun people, one of the nicest people I've ever met. Such an awesome people.
Well, I don't think it's fair to say everyone's abandoned the NRA. There's certainly still a lot of people who do support the NRA, but a lot of the support for the NRA has moved to other organizations, and so that's the nature of life. Like, things can be a shining beacon that everyone looks to as a cultural touchstone for a long time, but just like we no longer have a Whig party, things are going to eventually change.
Yeah.
So,
GOA, FPC. Support those guys.
Yeah, there's that. So, that being said, guys, you guys want to talk about any other guns that you have?
So, I don't have a gun. I did have an interesting item from Magpul. So, they're going to make P320 grip modules as their next thing.
Okay.
Full size and compact. They're also going with lever action. I say lever. Everybody gives me crap here.
Lever. Yeah.
I know it's lever.
Lever. I'm with you.
Yeah,
Lever.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Lever, all right.
Lever at home?
Comments section, lever or lever.
Tomato or tomato.
The funny part is, regardless of how they're going to say it down, it's going to look the same. Anyways, so
well, here's the
you have to do the right
L-E-A-V,
punctuation thing.
Yeah.
L-E-S
A
X hyphen A.
I agree with this one. I agree with that one.
Do you pronounce it L-E-V or
same.
L-E-H?
Lever.
So they have a lever action stock that's coming out. They also have a lever action handguard that's coming out for the Marlin. So it's the 336 and the 1895 and 94 for the stock. For the handguard, it's only the 1895.
Is that the one that shoots 45-70?
I think it can.
Yeah, it can. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for sure.
It's in a lot of calibers, including 7.62 54R.
By the way, don't shoot 45-70 at a steel target.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a Russian contract for Winchester rifles and 7.62 54R. Like the
What?
Winchester
Wow. And that was the 1895?
Isn't that the PKM round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they had to
Test
put
your armor.
They had to put a bridge so it could take military stripper clips, and it was really cool.
Wow.
They basically rejected all of them that we sent over, but it's
Oh, that's a cool piece of history. I love hearing Matt talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, where else are you going to learn that? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. He's the professor. He's the guy that talks about history and little technical stuff.
that's okay. Y'all make me feel lost sometimes, you guys.
Fun
Some of your
fact.
suppressors and
Yeah.
Fun
stuff.
fact. You may not know this. Matt actually started SDI.
Do you really? For a second, I believe you just because Matt's been talking about actually going to SDI for so long. Matt's like, I'll do it. I'll do SDI.
Dude.
He ends up teaching a teacher.
I mean, we shot the bit for it, but I was like, hey, maybe we should be able to speak from experience is all,
He moonlights as an SDI instructor.
Here's our online program. The dean of online programs.
That's funny.
Going to a Zoom meeting and it's Matt. Hey.
That's funny.
Okay, last thing at Magpul, there's a new stock. They've come out with a bunch of new stocks. They came out with some at SHOT Show. I wasn't really impressed by those. I love a CTR. Like, just that's the way it is, right? They kind of expounded on the CTR line, so it's called a DT/PR.
Oh,
PR
yeah.
precision rifle. It's got a bag rider in the bottom of the stock, so if you're at the range and you're shooting out to long distances with your bipod, whatever else, you can have that stock resting on a bag easier. It's it's flat for that.
See, that makes
it's a little
perfect
bit
sense.
angled
That
for
somebody
that.
made it. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, yeah, it's so good.
And the tensioner is in a different spot.
Yes,
The tensioner's on the front this time instead
I
of the
think
rear.
it is I think it is on the front.
So
yeah.
that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
And then the angle, it takes CTR cheek risers. So if you already have those, I already have those at home because I have a couple CTRs.
Yeah.
So you can just pop those on, easy does it. And then the last thing, I think it was the P320. Yeah, the P320.
Dude,
Compact to full size.
Dude,
Such a cool idea.
I'm excited the most about those, right? P320s or P365s, right? They have what was the grip modules were for which guns exactly?
The compact and the full size P320.
P320, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say P365s are extremely popular, and with that being said, SIG is getting a lot of attention.
They're probably
So
going to do that next.
Yeah, probably a lot of attention to their lineup, and P320s. They've got some. We all know some bad rep, but I'm sure they're all being mitigated. But that grip module, it's no brainer. There's like one of the most purchased guns out there, these SIG handguns. So it's a no brainer that, especially Magpul, that comes up with their own version of it. That I would probably go with Magpul stuff. I haven't even seen it.
Yeah.
Than original P320 because I think that original P320 grip is. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan either, especially like the original one that came out.
Yeah.
But I will say the whole thing of them coming out with P320 steel mags, I like that as a company because it shows that they're willing to just basically make the best product, whatever materials that is. Like they're known for their polymer, right?
Yeah.
That's that's their bread and butter. But when they I'm sure when they had to have made a polymer P320 mag, and then they were like, hey, this just ain't it. So we're going to have to make a steel mag and put it out there. And even though that's not their wheelhouse, technically, magazines are their wheelhouse, though. They killed it.
But they knew that there's money to be made there. Like if you think about the business perspective, Glock mags, everybody knows freaking they're everywhere. If you make any gun that takes Glock mags, you're going to sell that gun, right? Well, now it's one of those things like either Glock mags or SIG mags. The SIG mags capable or compatible guns are also selling like hotcakes, which is crazy. So business perspective, I think that's a very logical and smart move to make magazines from Magpul that is compatible with SIGs.
Makes sense.
And I do like to see that there being a little bit more variety, right? So while I understand why so many things standardize on Glock mags, I do think that it kind of, not that you should go proprietary, like that's not a great idea, but if there are at least a couple different options of finding common mags, that it's probably better overall for the market. So like I was a really big fan of seeing some of the kind of PCCs go to more like Scorpion mags instead of the 33 round Glock mags, right? So I mean, I definitely, again, like I think that your point about them just saying, hey, this material doesn't fit, even though it's what we're known for. We're going to have to step outside our comfort zone and do something maybe a little bit more traditional. It feels like you took a step back to try to take a step forward.
Or be a purist and go, Colt stick mags, baby. I'm just saying.
It's taking it back.
I love it.
Do you know what would have been funny if Magpul actually made a polymer mag that was compatible with SIG P320? Just somehow, like metal inserts in there so it doesn't eat up the mag, but somehow. Now that would be like, hey, we made a polymer mag that's going to work just as good, as reliable.
I can't imagine they didn't try, though.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
it would have been like, that would be a
Yeah.
bigger hit if you think about it. Like, holy crap, a polymer mag that's compatible with SIG. I'd be very interested.
I know who would do that as well. Lancer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Lancer was the OEM for SIG for, so long, especially in their MPX line.
So it's funny you say that because everyone's been talking about like the SIG Spear, right? And the mags that it comes with. They're the Lancer mag. It comes with Magpul mags, but they're actually Lancer mags that the government contract is using. I know SIG is making their own mags for the actual Spear itself, right? Did you know Magpul actually has a SIG Spear line of magazines?
No,
Really?
Yeah, 6.8 by 51. Eric Graves over at Soldier Systems was showing me photos of it.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what? And he was showing me they're FTE and everything, like to match the SIG Spear look. And it says 6.8 by 51.
Wow.
So I don't know if that was a part of the contract that just never was, or it's going to be up soon in the future once 277 Fury becomes a bigger deal. I don't know. But that's interesting too. I mean, that was just like a little like, I guess he was the only one got to look at it, and he just kind of like pushed it out there real quietly, and I was like, what the heck is this?
Well, it's interesting because, I mean, obviously we all know that you can use 300 blackout in 5.56 mags, but then, you have places that have come out with like, no, these are 300 blackout. They are like more purpose-built design for that caliber. Or a great example, I use 760 by 39 mags with my 6.5 Grendel rifle, but there are 6.5 Grendel mags that are more specifically designed for that with the follower and stuff. So, it's not necessarily a bad thing to have a more specific to this purpose design magazine.
Yeah.
Talking about things that we liked kind of from the show. So all of mine, I would say, are nothing's new, right? Like everything's kind of a reintroduction. So being just a fan of a lot of really classic firearms. So I also thought that the Colt Viper was a really cool introduction. The stainless steel 3-inch model specifically kind of was the one I was looking at. There is a anniversary edition of the Springfield M1A. I thought was really cool. It's got a gorgeous stock with a medallion in the stock. And then Taylor's had an 1873 lever action rifle that is a 9mm, which I thought was really cool because, traditionally you think of lever action rifles shooting kind of the rimmed cartridges, but having a more modern available cartridge to shoot at it. Not to say 9mm lever actions are new, but again, I'm not picking anything new. But Taylor's is introducing a model of theirs, so I thought that was really cool.
That's pretty cool. What do you think, Jason?
I mean, there's a couple of things. We saw that Mountain Billy Goat, or what is it?
That Mountain Billy Gun Lab.
There you go.
That was really
Mountain
cool.
Billy Goat.
So it's the Goat 15.
Dude, I was right
That's
next
a great
to them.
name.
Like I was at that right next to that booth pretty much. That was my little headquarters. Neil McLean, the McLean Core slings. He had stuff there, so I'd put my backpack there, and they had that booth was right there. I saw the Goat 15. I was just gonna actually text him like, "Hey, there's a Goat 15 gun here. That's probably gonna be my favorite in the show."
So for anyone
So I
out
was gonna
there
tell you.
who doesn't know, it's a miniaturized AR-15, and it's in 22.
Yep.
But they also are coming out with an AK version in 22.
Is this a part of that project where it was like for like the kids, AR-15 for kids? Remember that went viral everywhere? Remember that?
Ew, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, for training your kids, make sure they can. It's introducing them to firearms.
I saw it at SHOT Show. I want to say SHOT Show 2023, and I saw it a bunch of places. It was it was in New York Times and a couple other articles when they're like, "Hey, this isn't a good look." And I was like, "Yeah." I mean, I get where they're coming from though, because there's 22 trainers for everything, right? So
They should just name
but
it.
it's more about the
differently.
branding and how they put it out there. Like there was like a skull with like a like a pacifier and stuff. It was weird.
Wow.
Okay, yeah.
They tried to make it look edgy, and it was
Jesus,
wasn't a
what
good
is it?
look.
Spikes Tactical? Jeez. Wow.
As someone who bought his daughter her first rifle when she was 5 or 6, like it was a single shot 22. Like I get that, you know, some people.
Oh no, I
want to
100% get. I encourage people
start
like
that early.
Yeah, you can start. You can definitely have a gun. Like a 22s are great for like to introduce your kids to learn how to shoot, right? You know, but naming it, hey, this is to AR-15 for kids with the pacifier. What? Maybe that's a little bit different for me.
Yeah.
But you can have like you have your what is that thing right there? You have
Oh yeah, the Taurus TX22 compact.
Which is new.
yeah.
It's new. So that was a part of the new stuff. But anyways, yeah.
But
Go
that's
ahead,
like a
interrupt
22
you.
caliber. That's a gun that you won.
Yeah.
That whatever, some competition, whatever.
Yeah.
And look at that. How cool would that be if you had a kid, like you're a 6-year-old kid, and you're right there, you're training, you're with the kid, and if the kid shoots this thing, especially suppressed, it's going to be no different than a BB gun, right?
I mean, to them.
Yeah, to them. Yeah. So,
You clarify
To the
from
shooter.
the
That
shooter's
can
experience.
totally
Shooter
kill.
experience. Yeah.
well, we're talking about shooting the gun.
But no, it's kind of
Yeah.
like what your mom said. Like growing up, it was like everyone had that moment where it was like, "Hey, it's not about what you said; it's the way you said it."
Exactly.
Right?
So
And
the way-
it's like coming out with a trainer. Like we all get where you're coming from. Like we all would use that, but it's the way you branded it. It's the way
Yeah.
you put it out to the public. Just wasn't a good look.
And then you've got what, the Live Free Armory Apollo. They're 2011 that came out. That's new-ish, esque.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is.
that's cool stuff.
Is that not a
Trending toward new. Yeah.
new?
Yeah,
Okay.
New?
it is new. I don't know if it came out post SHOT Show.
Yeah.
it might have come out
In
in
between.
between.
I feel like
there.
it's been
Yeah.
talked about. It's like it wasn't.
It has been talked about.
It has been talked about a lot. So
Yeah, so you've got
Oh,
that.
There's that.
You've got, well, you already said that Smith & Wesson thing. That was, yeah.
The GVAC, yeah.
Yeah.
300 blackout. I mean, I'd like to check it out.
Oh, the Fight Light.
The Fight Light. Yep.
They're, even though, Matt,
So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's just that the pistols were out longer, or and the rifle itself is new, or I thought the rifle's been out since last year. But yeah, the Hemingway,
yeah.
their lever action AR, and again, you know, they're big on. Every time I see it, it's the, you know, like of 2024. So I don't know if maybe there was a modification or an update
Yeah.
to the design.
Rolling
maybe.
upgrade.
But I
Pull the
think
SIG.
you know,
Sounds cool though.
So, you know, it is interesting. Like I like kind of the variation on ARs that we're seeing more, and even to the point where I'm not sure that you would call it an AR, right? So like the Hemingway, it's a lever action lower. It can take any standard AR-15 upper, but it's in lever action. So you can definitely see that in places where, you know, assault weapon laws happen or something, because this is a manually operated lever action rifle, or you know, just like you know, they used to have, or actually, sorry, the Fight Light has come out with the semi-automatic, but it's got the hunting stock style lower.
Oh, I like the hunting stock.
It looks so cool.
It's crazy how much that reduces recoil.
And I think that would be really cool. I keep saying I want to get one and then make it in 760 by 39. Call it my modern SKS, because it would, you know, like
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, it's like a modern ranch rifle.
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea behind it, right?
Pretty cool.
it's their what is it? SCR,
Yeah, SXR, something like that.
something like that.
SCR, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Michael over at Fight Light, coming out with cool stuff.
Speaking of shout out, I want to actually shout out to these guys that I met, and this is not the gun stuff, but I told them that I'd shout out because it's pretty cool. It's called Special Operations Wounded Warriors. So folks with just Purple Hearts and a bunch of other cool stuff. It's completely nonprofit. What these guys do is they just go out there and help them train and any kind of stuff that they're in need of, PTSD, all that stuff. Everything is. The guy was like, dude, we don't earn anything from this. In fact, I even pay my own flight to go to these events out of pocket. Like it's that, and it's specifically for vets. And it's their website is www.soww.charity.com. So, 100% nonprofit, and they help out special ops guys who are in need of help, basically. So he explained this stuff to me, and it sounds like very, very good. They do very good things for these guys that really true heroes that go out there and fight for our freedom. So
Someone needs to do it.
Yep, absolutely. And I really like that it's purely nonprofit. The guy's like, dude, I pay for my own hotel, my own flight. I'm like, man, I understand nonprofit, but you shouldn't be spending money out of your pocket. Like, you don't get any money from any of those earnings, but you are spending your own money, which, I mean, it's admirable, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, dude, that's how it is. We were small and this and that. So just want to give him a shout out. So it was great meeting those guys.
Awesome, yeah.
That's all. So with that being said, that's about it for the NRA 2024. That's my experience, and I know you guys weren't there, but
we live vicariously
Yeah.
through
That's
you.
right.
you
felt
live,
like I
you
was
guys
there.
lived through me, exactly. So let us know in the comment section, what are your thoughts about the NRA show 2024 or NRA shows, annual meetings overall, and let us know if we haven't touched any items from the NRA 2024 that are new and you want to talk about in the comment section. I would love to read them. That's about it, guys. You guys want to add anything else?
Someone's gonna be like, "He played with that cylinder so much during the show. That's horrible for the cylinder." Go cry in a car, bro.
Go cry in a car.
Whoever that guy is, Jason's on
That's
you.
right. That's right.
Yeah, if you haven't, check out some of our sister channels, Classic Firearms Outside the Warehouse or CF Clips, because those all have kind of different, interesting
Yeah,
content on them.
we're almost at 10 million on FBI versus SWAT.
No,
We are
Navy
past 10
SEAL.
Oh, we are past 10 million.
Navy SEAL.
Oh, Navy SEAL. Sorry,
Yeah, channel
10 million.
Channel is by the time this thing comes out, channel will be over 100,000 subscribers. Shout out to Brandon for making it happen.
Yeah,
He's behind the scenes running the
Yeah.
podcast.
he's the
today.
wee man behind the scenes.
yeah,
Took a ladder to get here.
yeah. Just give us some YouTube Shorts ideas
Yeah.
that are fun that you guys be interested in watching, and Brandon will be very happy to make them happen. But that's about it, guys. Check out cfcontest.com. Good things happen there. We talked about Terran Butler, Genesis, Sand Viper, Pit Viper, and stuff like that. You probably will see there. But no matter when you watch this video, you won't be disappointed. on
Something
what you see.
cool will be there.
Something cool will be there.
Yeah.
Will be there. So thanks a lot for tuning in. We appreciate your business,
God bless.
and we'll see you on the next one.
Later.
See you guys.